G'day guys, how you going? It's Iski here. I just thought I'd pull the camera out. I'm not really sure if there's a video in any of this, but I thought, what the hell, let's just pull it out and see what happens. It's raining all day. It's a what is it? Sunday today, and it's been raining all week, and it looks like it's going to rain all the next week as well. And I thought I am going to do something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and that is to fix up at least one of my 3D printing machines. It's an Ender 3 machine. And the fact is, you might notice that I have a table in here. This is my corset showroom where I make all these pretty corsets and medieval style bridal wear and formal wear. And I don't normally have this cutout table here. You may have noticed, when was it? Just recently I did a video where I was pulling it out of my cinema room. I'm about to build a home cinema, and that's it there. In fact, I've got a movie playing at the moment, and it's actually just wasting electricity because no one's watching it. But yeah, that table was down there. It was basically where those chairs are. And yeah, I had to get it out of there because I'm going to be doing some construction in here pretty soon, doing a lot of building, and I thought let's move it out of the way and stick it in the shop because basically it is a cutout table. It's where I normally put all my fabrics on the table and cut them out, but it's going to act as it's going to be a multi-functional table. I'll be doing a lot of repair stuff, and it's always been a good table. But today I thought I am going to fix one of my 3D printers. It's an Ender 3 Pro. And yeah, I don't know if there's any dump rat type of connotations in this video, but who cares? A lot of people say you should start a separate YouTube channel if you're going to mix up your videos, but stuff that. Yeah, I did mention in the intro to my channel that I would be covering a fair bit of 3D printing eventually, but it won't be too much. But I thought, yeah, let's see if we can fix this up, and we'll see if we can fix it on this table. It'll be the first time I've done anything on this table since I brought it in here, so I'm looking forward to that. But actually, if I think about it, if we want to throw some dump rat content, that iMac. I found that. I got that at the dump. I've got like 24 of those so far. That's probably one of my favourites. We got an iPad there. I'm just using that. If we power that on, I'm just using this to control my projector. So if I hit pause there you go. The movie is paused. If I hit unpause, oh, I hit the wrong button. Hit it again. There we go, and it takes off again. So yeah, I found that it's a pretty nice Apple iPad. In fact, when I found that thing, whoever tossed it out, they actually reset it. It was back to factory settings, so I didn't have to go through any security crap or passwords. It was just beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. So there you go. They can be our dump rat items for this video, even though we're not going to be really I'm actually going to be using this this computer. I'll be using that to help me fix that. Like I said, I don't know if there's a video in this, but I thought it's all practice. I'm just going to be practicing. I'm getting pretty decent, I reckon, at doing some of this Premiere Pro editing. So I thought I'm just going to pull my camera out, and it's not going to be an instructional video. It's just me trying to repair this. If anyone on here knows anything about 3D printers, this is an Ender 3 Pro. And basically today, hang on a second, let me just move this around. What I am going to do today, there we go, broke the filament. This here is called an extruder, and that's the stock extruder that comes with this Ender 3 Pro, and I want to replace it out for a Dual Gear Extruder. And I think where did I get this? I picked it up on that really popular website. Oh, I can't remember. I'll put a link down below. I can't remember exactly where I got it, but yeah, I think it cost me about, what was it, about 28 bucks, delivered to Australia, where everything is more expensive. But yeah, so today, the best part about this, in fact, if we have a look at my decent, good, well, that's a good printer as well, but this is my first printer that I bought. It's a Creality CR10S Pro, and you can see I've pulled it all apart here, and I am about to put on a micro Swiss hot end on this thing, because basically with these printers, the CR10S Pros, they basically decided they would change the nozzles. So you can't just buy these, you know, really cheap nozzles that you can buy anywhere. You have to, you're locked into buying Creality's nozzles, and I hate that. I hate it with a passion. I didn't know that before I bought this printer, otherwise I probably wouldn't have bought it. But the way to get around that is if you want to change, so this is your hot end, hang on a second, this is the one that I've pulled off already. If you want to change your hot end, and I've decided to get myself a micro Swiss all metal hot end, so I will be basically putting that on there sometime soon. I'll probably do a video on that as well, and that hot end will actually take the standard 3D printing nozzles, which is great because sometimes when I'm just messing around with stuff, I can actually break go through a couple, messing around and changing beds and stuff. I've destroyed a couple of nozzles and beds. So yeah, it's just annoying when you have to. I've got say 20 standard nozzles, lying around, but you can't use any of them because Creality bloody decided let's screw these awesome customers around and put our proprietary nozzle on there. That's just not on. So yeah, so basically the nozzle's the same, the thread on the nozzle is different, and it won't screw in to their hot end on the standard CR10S Pro, and this is a CR10S Pro V2, so it's a version 2, so it's exactly the same. But yeah, so that's another video for another day. But for today, what I want to do is I want to pull this out of, this is my Dual Gear Extruder. And the whole idea with a Dual Gear Extruder, you can see how this one here, it's got like this cog down here. You can see all those teeth there. That's meant to grip this filament here and pull it through. And so this is the standard one that comes with a lot of cheap or standard type printers. And what you see on the other side here, this wheel, let me see if I can turn this around. You can actually just see this reel, that's the other side that's holding the filament that's guiding it through. That's just an idler. It's just an idler. And that's not really doing anything, just helping guide it through. Whereas these, which is what, to be honest, it's exactly the same as my CR10S Pro. This thing cost me a lot of money. This was like an $800 machine here in Australia. And you can actually see that this one here, if I had some better lighting, this one's got a gear on this end and a toothed gear on that end. So it can pull the filament through a lot easier. It grips it better, it pulls it through, and your E-steps, well, I'll explain E-steps another time, a bit later. We'll probably have to calibrate our E-steps on this machine after I've done it. Yeah, basically E-steps are if you're feeding some filament through your extruder and you program your printer to say, guide 100 mil through, you mark with a pen here and then you set that up to this start point and then you say feed, and it's supposed to feed through 100 mil, but a lot of the time it won't. It'll stop short and then you have to recalibrate your E-steps. And I'm pretty sure that's something that I'm going to have to do once I put this thing on, which I've never done before. I have never done this before. So we're going to learn how to do that, or at least I'm going to learn how to do that. I'm not going to do a massive, big instructional video. Listen, I'll show you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the internet using my dump found computer. And I'll go to my favorite how to do repair on my 3D printer man, Shep. This guy's awesome. He just does these 10-minute long videos. I need to take a lesson from this guy how to shorten my videos. I mean, we're probably up to 10 minutes. We are up to 10 minutes now. But this guy gets them done in 10 minutes. And I'm just going to look at his videos, see what he's doing, and basically try and do the same thing with mine and get it going. Because quite frankly, I need to, because it's almost Christmas time. Well, it is. Well, I'm not sure when I'm going to publish this video, but at the moment we're in December, and yeah, I love using these things to rattle off some Christmas presents. I bought my first one last year, and I didn't spend any money on a single Christmas present. I was printing cellophanes and, you know, dragon lamps, and this is the first thing that I printed. Well, I haven't even finished it. This is, I don't know if anyone can. Oh, listen, I'll see if I can get a better shot at this later. This is a Mandalorian rifle. You can see it doesn't have this. What are these things at the back? Are they called what are they called? They're not the barrels. Stock. I haven't done the stock. I haven't printed the handle. It's the stock of the Mandalorian rifle. I'd like to get this done. You know, my little nephew's a massive Star Wars fan, so I could even give that to him for Christmas. But yeah, it needs to do a lot of painting yet. But that's the kind of stuff that you can print with these things. It's a lot of fun. So what I might do is actually stop that projector. Oh, the projector, mind you. Did you see the video that I released just recently where I picked up a, I think it's about $3,500 to $4,000 projector. This particular Epson here. I picked this up last week for $50. $50! And it's a $3,500 to $4,000 projector, and it's awesome. And the whole thing was, when I read the description, it wasn't supposed to work. The guy said that he thought that it just had a blown light bulb, but he couldn't be sure, but he knew that it didn't turn on. Well, the last time he turned it on 2 years ago, that it didn't turn on. Anyway, I get it. I turned it on, and I get a picture straight away. In fact, here I'll put on the screen or in the description the video of me doing that, because it's quite funny. I can't really take myself seriously when I'm surprised and can't believe stuff like in that video, because I really couldn't believe that I had scored a basically free $4,000 or $3,500 Epson projector. And the contrast ratio with this projector is 200,000 to 1. The black levels are awesome. But please don't take my word for it looking at that image. We've got lights and everything turned on in this room, and plus that's a pretty big 150-inch screen, and we are, I think, just over 7 meters away. So, but yeah, at night time when there's no lights on, it is pretty black. I can't believe it. And plus it's only 1600 lumens, which I can't believe that. I mean, oh. Anyway, let's get back to this. I'm rambling again. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and set this camera up on something, and we will begin. Not sure how we're going to begin. I'm just going to wing it. If you want to watch this video, please feel free. Otherwise, you know, there's a lot of other YouTube videos to watch, I guess. But anyway, let's get started. In fact, we are going to incorporate another thing that I found at the dump. How cool is this old fuel can? What is it? A Shell light of Australia. Highly flammable. How old? I just love the can. I thought it was cool. But what are we going to use that for? We are going to put that there, and we are going to sit our gimbal on top of there, and hopefully that'll work. Okay? All right, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I guess, you know, it's not a really good angle. It's not a really good... It's probably the best I can do, though. Okay, so I am going to start watching Shep do his explanation. Can't be too hard, right?
Let it run, and it stops pretty close, but not perfect, right there. So we're looking at about 6 millimeters. So let me show you how to remove this. The first step is to take the filament out, and I'm going to take the screw off of the bracket or the arm.
Okay, take the screw out for the bracket and the arm. So he said take the filament out. Ah, hells. I can't take the filament out because I have to heat it up so that I can pull it out. Hang on a second. I didn't really think this through very well. Got to get a cord. Okay, so basically I need to turn this on, and I can't even remember where the plug goes for this thing. Where's the plug hole for this printer? Oh, there it is. Oh, and I brought around the wrong bloody thing. Hang on. Back in a second. Okay. Alright, so let's plug this in there. So basically, for people who don't know anything about 3D printing, like myself, I don't know a hell of a lot. I know a bit about it, but you can't pull the filament out unless you make it all molten, because it's stuck in there good. It's nice and hard. You have to melt it back and then you can pull it out. And I can't remember how to do any of this. It's been ages since I used this printer, since I used any printer. Okay, let me just see what this other camera's doing. Have we got all of this in shot? Looking good. All right. Resume print. Stop print. Prepare. Is that where it is? Let's actually disable the steppers first. Preheat PLA. It's going to take it up to 200 by the looks of things. Okay. Alright, so we have to take off, can you guys see? What are you looking at? We have to take off this arm, and that's got like an Allen key in there. Actually, I'll wait, I won't start explaining it yet because I'm just going to have to redo it. So I've got a couple of Allen keys. In fact, with that shot, I think I can probably empty the contents of this little bag that I bought. So we've got that bit, we got that bit, and all of these things. Hopefully they stay there. I am just going to keep looking at Shep do his thing.
And then the spring. And then I'm going to disconnect the PTFE tubing.
Yep.
And pull the wiring harness off the clip.
Yep.
And then there's a screw at the front here.
What's the wiring harness off the clip?
Screw off the bracket or the arm, and then the spring. And then I'm going to disconnect the PTFE tubing and pull the wiring harness off the clip. And then there's a screw at the front here. Take that out. And then there's one at the back corner. Take that off. You have to disconnect the motor from the wiring harness. Just pulls out. And there's the PTFE tubing and pull the wiring harness off the clip. And then there's a screw at the front here. Take that off. And then there's one at the back corner. Take that off. You have to
you can remove the motor and the lamp.
Alright, that looks easy enough. So what are we up to? We're up to 200? So we're up to 200. So by rights, this should actually just pull out. Oh, no, it's not going to pull out. It decides to snap. And you know why? It's because this filament's really old. Anyway, what I'm going to do is, I don't think we necessarily... and that clip just came off. I don't think we necessarily have to. We're going to remove this, but we'll actually pull it out from this end actually. Is that going to fit there? Yeah, that'll fit. Let's just disconnect this PTFE tubing. Hopefully we can just squeeze this together and pull that through that way. Now let's see if I can pull that out. Come on. It's coming. Probably should have turned the temperature up for the nozzle, hey? Hang on, I'm going to get a pair of pliers. Let's see if we can pull it out with these. Seriously, it should come out a lot easier than that. Is that... the bed's warm. Oh, yep, the nozzle's bloody hot, so... but it's... why? Alright, let's forget about that for the moment. I'm going to come back and redo everything that you see here. But yeah, that should have just slid out quite easily. But it's set to 200 degrees. That should be hot enough to let that come out. But anyway, let's just get moving and start undoing some stuff. Now, just to let people know, I'm a real amateur when it comes to 3D machines. I don't know that much about. I know a bit. There's not too much. They're not too difficult, but yeah, I'm not like this advanced 3D printing guy. In fact, what I might do is just unplug this, because I'm going to be pulling the wire out from the wiring harness off that stepper motor pretty soon. Okay, so there we go. Let's pull that up and out of there. I'm just going to put all of these parts aside somewhere. I'm actually going to stick them in this bag that this red one came in. Keep everything together. Now, what else did he say? So basically just to pull the whole thing apart, didn't he? I might just pull this wiring harness out first. Like that. Listen, I'm just going to quickly re-watch what he said.
As soon as we have the PTFE tube and hot end, it's slipping on the gear. But at 185 degrees C, it's like 24 millimeters of slippage, and at 205, it's only 6 millimeters of slippage. So let's try the other extruder. So let me show you how to remove this. The first step is to take the filament out, and I'm going to take the screw off of the bracket or the arm, and then the spring. And then I'm going to disconnect the PTFE tubing. and pull the wiring harness off the clip. And then there's a screw at the front here, take that off, and then there's one at the back corner, take that off. You have to disconnect the motor from the wiring harness, just pulls out. And there's one last screw that holds the motor, and now you can remove the motor and the last piece of the extruder.
Alright, so yeah, basically just pulling everything apart. Okay, so where did my... And that's too big. And that one's too big. Oh, great, so hang on a second, I have to find an even smaller Allen key, and this one might be the go. Pull that out, put that one with that one, and then last but not least, but looks like it's this one here. Oh, there we go, got some movement at the station. Alright, so that should just fall out. Awesome. Okay, now what? Actually, are all those... Yeah, so they actually give you the same screws that I just pulled out. So I'm going to put all of these screws aside. I put them in that plastic bag. Keep all of that stuff together. Now I'm just going to go and have a look at the video again. Hang on, look at that. Nice dust mark. Alright, so video time.
Here's the kit that I bought. I'll put a link to this in the description below. It is a kit, so you have to assemble it, so let me show you how this works. Eventually we'll get to this, where the two pieces drive the filament on both sides and the motor turns the idler gear. The first thing I did was put the screw into the bracket.
Okay, let's do that. Screw into the bracket. So, he's saying to put this screw into this bracket. Is that going to fit? How good is that? Professional here. Alright, let's just put that there like that. First bit done. Next.
Will actually be the adjustment screw for the tension on the spring.
Adjustment screw for the tension on the spring. How is he holding that? He's holding that way. And where is the tension screw for the adjustment on the spring? Is that that one? Oops, where did that go? I didn't see where that went. There's another one here. We'll find that other one later. Does that go in there? Yep. I should have cut my fingernails before I started doing this video, I reckon. My guitar plucking plectrum. I need another Allen key for this. This is really hard, filming like this and doing this. I've got my arms around the camera and the light, and I'm trying to see what I'm doing. Okay, so is that how he's got it? Yep. Alright, I guess it serves a purpose. Alright, let's move on to the next thing. Let's just stick that there.
Then there's a screw that goes into the arm, and this will actually hold the spring in place. There's an insert that goes into the arm, that goes in here, and there's a tall screw that goes into that insert. And then this arm will mount to the bracket like this and screw into the motor, and then the spring will go between the arm and the bracket.
Okay. Now he's saying that this piece here drops in there, and then this long screw here drops in there like that, and then this whole thing picks up that screw there. Basically, can you see? Goes through that hole there, like that. But first of all, we have to put this on our stepper motor. So let me just see how he's doing that. And I'm sorry about all this photography. This isn't meant to be an instructional vid. I'm just kind of messing around. If you want to watch, you can watch. All right.
Now we got to remove the gear from the motor. There's 2 set screws to take it off. The new one has 1 set screw, so you want to make sure that set screw goes on the flat side of the motor shaft. Now we're ready to assemble, so you bring the base of the new extruder to the machine.
All right. Now, he is saying that there's 2 screws, and I can see that there are 2 Allen, well, what do they call these things? Grubber screws. One there and one there. We have to take those out to lift this up. And do I have a? Is that gonna be thin enough to get in there? I bet you it's not. Maybe. No. Oh no, that works. That actually works perfectly. Should I mark how far it goes down though? Probably should mark how far it goes down. How do you know that you got it in the right spot? Stuff it. No, I'm not going to. Well, I'll just measure it. Hang on a second, guys. I'm just going to grab my ruler. First of all, I'll just see if these things are the same height. No, they're completely different anyway, so who cares? Maybe I'll just adjust it a bit later. So this is so awkward, me doing this. But yeah, I got to take these grubber screws out, and I think I've just picked up the wrong. Oh, no, that's right. So actually, I've pulled it all the way out. We don't want to pull it all the way out. Let's just leave it in there. Actually, I think I might be having the same issue with that black end. There we go. So that's loose and that's dropped down now. So let's pull that off. Just stick that there. Just tighten this grubber screw up so it doesn't fall out. There we go. And we will pop that in our little plastic bag of goodies. Hang on a second, I'm going to cut my fingernail. Alright, now he's saying we got to drop this down onto this motor. And you can see there's a flat spot on this shaft here. Just make sure that that grubber screw is facing that flat spot, and I'm just going to call it at about there, eh? We can probably adjust it at another time. Let's just tighten that up. Whoops, sorry. Alright, so that feels pretty tight. And there's only 1 grubber screw on this particular kit, so that's good. Anyway, now let's keep going.
Then tighten the first screw to the motor. Then tighten the second one on the right front. Don't tighten that one all the way. And then
in fact, looking at his, he has, that looks like it's pushed down a bit further. I might just raise this up a little bit. His looks like it's about there, so I'll just lock it off at that point there. No, it's slipped down. That'll do. Now, we got to get this with all of this back on there, I guess. I'm just going to step it back a bit on this video and just see how he did that. It's pretty self-explanatory, really, I think. Alright.
Then screw into the motor, and then the spring will go between the arm and the bracket. Now we got to remove the gear from the motor. There's 2 set screws to take it off. The new one has 1 set screw, so you want to make sure that set screw goes on the flat side of the motor shaft. Now we're ready to assemble, so you bring the base of the new extruder to the machine and tighten the first screw to the motor.
Let's do that first, eh? Where is... Are we still in shot here? I guess so. That looks okay. Now, let's just move that off there. What screw is he putting in there? Oh, listen, I guess it doesn't matter too much. Hang on, I'm going to re-watch this again. Oh, I know what. So, this bit here, this screw needs to be screwed all the way through so we get access to that hole, because currently you can't get access to it, so that actually has to be screwed in. And just looking at his video, his is screwed all the way in. Alright, that makes more sense. Now, just play again.
Tighten the second one on the right front. Don't.
Okay. So by the looks of things, it goes on that way. And then this pops up through there. There we go. Now, oh, this is so awkward. Let's see. Is that going to fall through there? I think that's got it. Let's just see if we can tighten that up. I bet you this is the wrong Allen key, and it is. Let's try this one. Steady hands. Let's see if we can screw that down. Gee, that wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Alright, so that's that one in. Now we need to put this screw here, which I think is the countersunk looking screw. Yep. That goes there. So let's just lock that off. Tighten that a bit more. Let me just keep watching.
Tighten that one all the way. And then the back one, don't quite tighten that one all the way. It gives you a little wiggle room.
The back one, don't tighten that all the way, he says. It gives you a bit of wriggle room. Okay, so now I think we might be time to look for that screw that I lost before. Unless it actually fell on this platform. Let me just see if it's underneath here. I have a feeling. Let me just move all of this stuff. I mean, what the hell is this? I'm just going to pull this off and just tip this machine up in case it fell down. But I think we've... Yeah, no, I think we've actually... That screw, that fell down. I think it actually fell on the platform. So... should be good to go. I just found this thing. I don't know if this thing here was actually part of my kit or not. But listen, I'll stick it there. It might have been from the old one. But I think this must have been the screw here that was lost before. And that needs to go on this opposite corner over here, I think. And he did say to tighten that down, but not to tighten it all the way, so we have some wiggle room. Is that what he said? It will all make sense shortly. Is it actually screwing in? No, it's not even going in. Let me have a look at what screw he's using. I'm pretty sure that's the right screw.
Next Next we want to adjust the gear so it lines up with the filter. Now we got to remove the gear from the motor. There's 2 set screws to take it off. The new one has wiggle room. Next we want to adjust the gear so it, then tighten the second one on the right front. Don't tighten that one all the way. And then the back one, don't quite tighten that one all the way. It gives you a little wiggle room.
Alright. Yeah, I think... Listen, I'm just going to see if I can turn this around. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing there. Maybe. But this is supposed to go in there, and I'm sure that's supposed to... There we go. I think that might be it. Maybe it wasn't pushed. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's in right. Actually, it must be going in because it's I can't pull it back out. No, I don't think it's going in. Listen, this is really awkward trying to do this. I'm going to have to move you guys out of the way for a moment and see what's going on here. Set you guys, can you see that? Hang on. Why is that not going in? Why is that not going in? You'd think that would be the right screw. See if that goes all the way down. Oh, you know what? I don't know. Hey, listen, apologies about that. My ridiculous, stupid camera only has a 33-minute recording limit, and apparently I reached it. I had actually put the whole thing together, and I realised I wasn't even recording any of it up to that stage. So I'm just going to, I pulled it all apart, and I thought I'd just continue where I left off. So where I left off just now, I was having trouble getting that screw in. That screw was the right screw. What I had to do was just kind of loosen 1 or 2 of these other screws, so it was a bit loose. That's the wriggle room that he was talking about in his video, and then it fell into place and I was able to screw that down and do it up tightly. Okay, so let's yeah, sorry, this happens all the time with this camera. Samsung only give you a 33-minute recording time, and they don't put a beep to let you know that you're about to stop recording. It just stops, and you can be doing your whole video and not even know that you're not recording. But anyway, now I'll just show you what else I had to do. Remember when I was saying that I wasn't sure where to actually put this height? Well, that's the next step, and I'm not going to redo this, but you basically get some filament, you feed it through, and then you just basically you adjust this cog here so that that groove is in line with that piece of filament, which I've already done and I'm not going to redo. Okay, so next step is, so this is, what's that? Is that called the tension screw? I'm not sure, but let's just get that in a little bit more. But next bit is this part here. So we got this bit with the screw. So that's just, can you see? Probably not. So I'm just going to set that there like that, and then I am going to find, I think this is the right Allen key. Let's try that. That should just start going down. There we go. then once everything is in like that, you can basically tighten everything up, which I've already done. Okay. Alright, we're almost back to where I left off. So I actually put this whole extruder together and then I realised I wasn't recording. But, so next part was to get this spring. And remember that I found this kind of sleevey looking thing that I didn't know what it was for, whether it was from the other extruder, the original one, or whether it came with this kit. Well, it did come with this kit, and that actually just slides in there like that. And then you get this spring. You get this end of the spring and you pop it over that screw there. And listen, I'm just going to move you around here because it's hard for me to do this. And then you just kind of get this down and push it in. And get something to push it over, pry it over. Basically, it's a lot easier when I did it the first time. Here we go. So I'm going to just push that over a little bit. Let's see if we can... There we go. So that's just aligned itself. Okay, so that goes in there like that. So we should be able to just... It's got nice tension on there. Okay, so that's basically where I left off. So, okay, that looks like it's on good. I'm just going to see what Shep has to say about it now.
Adjust the arm screw so it's tight but still loose enough to move back and forth. And we're ready to test.
Alright, so we have to test, just screw this arm screw in, that's what that is called, I guess. Yeah, that looks good to me, feels good. Let's see if I can feed a bit of this stuff through. Filament, this stuff. Okay, where should we set you up? Let's just put you there. So you actually, does that just go through there? There's supposed to be something here. I can feel teeth there. Hang on a second, let me just see what he's doing.
I marked 2 spots 100 millimeters apart. I set the extruder to extrude 100 millimeters. Readjust the arm screw so it's tight but still loose enough to move back and forth. And we're ready to test.
Alright, so yeah, that felt a bit weird because where you push this filament through, there's actually teeth. It's like got a thread in there, so you can hear it. I think it's got a thread in there. Or maybe it's just tapered so that it tapers up to a point. That makes more sense. In fact, hang on a second. We've got one over here, haven't we? Let's just go and have a look to see what this one looks like. In fact, that looks completely different. I mean, you can see this one here's got this tiny little hole, whereas that one over there has a big hole. That's strange. I'm not sure whether that's got anything. This wouldn't have anything to do with it, would it? I mean, does that screw in there? Nope. This one maybe. Actually, that does screw in there, but it's obviously definitely not meant to go in there. But there is a thread in there. I wonder why. Let's have a look at this one. What does this one look like? Yeah, look at that. So that's actually got a small little insert there as well, whereas I don't have it. I don't think I had anything that came with... I'm a bit worried now. Did I drop something? I didn't see Shep put anything in there. It makes sense that there's a piece that goes in there, you know. Anyway, listen, I'm not going to bother about it just yet. I'll go looking for it soon, but I don't see it. So that basically just goes through like that, doesn't it? Now, I think he was saying something about using greasing it up. But anyway, let's just continue, see what he's got to say. I'll just go back a little bit. Oh, look. So that's weird. You can see with this picture here, see his has like a tiny little hole there. It's just the extruder. My extruder is just different. My extruder is quite big, and looks like there's something that was supposed to be in there that's not in there. I bought this thing months ago. I mean, I don't even have any bits for I can't get anything on warranty. Let me just have a look in this bag. I mean, there's nothing in that bag because that's all the stuff that came from the old extruder. Oh well, listen, I'm not sure how important it is. We'll soon find out, I guess. But yeah, I think that definitely needs something screwed in there. I'm thinking that I could probably, well, possibly, can I get that one there out of there and stick it in there? I don't think I can. Nope, I don't think you can. That is really weird. Oh well. Let me just see if I can... There's nothing else here, was there? I don't think it came with my kit. There's obviously something supposed to screw in there and nothing came. Bastards. Yeah, oh well. Unless this is supposed to be it. I mean, why would that be it? That's not what that's meant to be for, right? That's not what that's supposed to be. Even though this particular one here actually fits in there. That does. Hang on, are they both the same? They're both the same, I think. I mean, that does fit in there and screw in. That's not what's supposed to go in there though, right? Maybe it is. Maybe it's supposed to go in there and you're supposed to... Maybe you're supposed to put that one on that side, on this side, and then this one, the other one, on the other side. I'm going to have to jump on their website and have a look what their pictures look like. Because I'm sure this one is supposed to go there. You can see this one here. Maybe you are supposed to put that one there. That doesn't look good though. That doesn't look right. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I know I'm just blabbering. Let's oh, where did I put my... this thing? Spanner. There's that one. I mean, why would they give you two if that wasn't supposed to go there? I don't know. I'm going to tighten her up anyway. It just doesn't make sense because that doesn't look like it's... Because this thing here is supposed to hold the filament in place. Like, it doesn't look like it's supposed to go there. But what else am I going to put there? I could just not put anything there. And then, I guess your filament's supposed to start from there and just slide through like that. But this just doesn't make sense. That doesn't look right. In fact, let's go and have a look at their website. You guys can come. Okay. So, yeah, this is the one. Oh, look at that. That is exactly how it was supposed to go, because I just saw... There, look at that. Look at that. So, it is supposed to go like that. That's weird. But mine doesn't have this type of... I don't have this type of end on mine. Is that supposed to be some type of PTF? Oh, maybe you have to put some PTFE tube or something in there. Yeah, that's probably what it's for. Oh, so yeah, I understand. So that blue PTFE Capricorn, is it Capricorn tube that I've got on my Ender 3? I have to cut a couple of pieces off and stick them on the ends and then slide the stuff through. Ah, well, okay. Shep just had a different type of extruder he was using, so that makes more sense. I don't know why I couldn't figure that out on my own, but okay. Let me just. So I'm happy with that. Then that can be tightened. It's already tight. So I need some PTFE tube to cut down and stick in there. Like, I've got enough of it, but I don't really want to waste it. Let me just see. In fact, this is old PTFE tube, this piece that I've got here, and if you can see that, which you can't see anything that I'm doing, hang on, I'm using my wrong hand, okay. You can actually see that there is so much shorter, so this is too short anyway, so I can cut that down. In fact, if I push that in all the way like that, I'll get my little tube cutter. I'm just going to grab a pen and mark that. Excellent choice of pens, a nice blue pen for a blue tube. You can still see it. Okay. So I am just going to pull that back out. Oh, hang on, it's locked in, isn't it? Okay. Now, let's just put that there. Where's that mark? I can just see that mark. It's a bit bent, but I don't think that matters. Let's make the bend so that it's facing upwards then. So that's in. Oh, actually, I'll pull that out. Let's just make them the same length. All right. Let's just make that so it's bending upwards. Oh, I don't need to actually cut this one, do I? Because the PTFE tube is actually going to go into there. Okay, I'm still asleep. Okay, yeah, so I didn't need to cut that for that end because this tube actually gets you know, pushed into there anyway. So I guess it's time I pulled out that filament. So I'm going to turn I'm just going to clean up a little bit, guys, and I am going to turn on this machine and see if I can heat up that nozzle and pull this filament out of there, because that's kind of disturbing that I couldn't pull that out before. One thing that I did forget to do is get this cable and plug it back into that extruder stepper motor. So let's just do that now. There we go. I want you to go to 220 temperature, nozzle. Okay, so I'm going to grab some pliers. That should, basically the filament should actually come out if I give that a bit of a tug. So let's see what happens. If we've got like a blocked, I think we might have a blocked nozzle, guys. Oh, I'm pulling the hell out of that and it's still not coming out. Well, this video might be turning into more of a repair video. A blocked nozzle video, hey? That should actually come out. So that's probably half the reason I'm having problems with this thing. See, what happened was when Sam owned this machine, I had it set up beautifully for him. I'm just trying to pull that. I think something's coming out now. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So that was blocked in there. Honestly, I think there's something going on there. I don't want to just feed new filament in there, because I think might actually open that end up and actually clean it out and have a really good look in there before I put it all back together properly and try to get it going. I'm actually going to, open all of this up and take the hot end apart and see if I can clean out any blockages. But that's not right. You can see that. And all the 3D printing guys are laughing at me at the moment, but honestly, I didn't know what I was doing a while ago, but I've forgotten everything. So I am just going to reteach myself, eh? So, give me a second and we will pull that apart. I'm not sure if I'll include all this in the video, but who knows.